Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi.
Maybe close that.
No, it's bouncing up, it's fine.
That's no better.
And it's under state statute.
Yes, I got more information too.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
yep, yep,
All right.
yep. I still think it warrants a conversation.
Okay.
Well, Ben,
Did you hand deliver the ferry sketches?
no,
Okay.
no. They brought them over here. Yeah. I did snag a couple though.
You know, we get more.
Yes.
Are you talking about the schedules?
Yes, the ferry schedule, card came out today.
Yay.
It's right here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cranky. But,
So.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Good, he's telling you that.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sue is joining us from deep south. I guess we'll wait for those. Okay, it is 5:00 PM on Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. I'll call this regular town board meeting to order. Take roll call. Mike Anderson is absent, excused absence. And Amy Baxter.
Here.
Susan Brenna.
Here via Zoom?
Okay, Samantha Dobson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. First order of business is public comment A. Any public comment, Paul?
Just review the waiver for employee use of town equipment garages. I didn't see anything there requiring some sort of proof of insurance for the person using the garage. As the example I gave the last meeting, if a vehicle in the garage catches on fire, the garage burns to the ground. What happens then? Really need to put something in there that counts as additional insurance or something. In case someone did something bad, so that the taxpayers will be on the hook.
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Okay, moving on, town administrators report. Any questions or comments, Michael? Really miss Mike Anderson being here. Okay, hearing none, Public Works Director's report. Okay. Murph Supervisor's report.
Is he gonna get more compost buckets for sale? Do we know this year?
I think that the buckets last year were a result of a donation. I don't know. Yeah,
Located or will be more.
great, thank you. Any other questions on the Murph Supervisor's report? glad to know that we're keeping our eye out for cottage cheese containers and make sure people wash them out. And I'm glad that the bean cans are, that was really good news. Okay, keep up the good work. Airport manager, or I'm sorry, yeah, airport managers report. Okay, zoning, planning and zoning administrators report. Accounting report. And I'm glad to see that we are going to be submitting a reimbursement request for the remaining $200,000 from the state budget. Police.
Remaining one.
The rest of the 200,000, yeah, $101,440.34. Yay, cover some of the closing costs. Police chief's report. Fire chief's report.
When people get ticketed and it goes to the DNR to ticket them, what percentage of the fine comes back to us?
I believe zero.
So they're saying that it costs about $500 and then the DNR gets the money?
No, I mean, it's separate, but the chief and I have talked about whether it makes sense to add to the town's fee schedule. Charge of 500 or 750 or whatever it turns out to be for people who are cited for illegal burn.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
So
you.
if you want to add that to a future agenda, we'd be happy to come up with.
cool.
Okay, any other questions on the fire chief's report?
Thanks to the new roots.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a lot of them.
Indeed,
Fun photos.
yes. If we could only have such success recruiting for the ambulance
Right.
service, but
Fingers crossed some of them switch over.
exactly,
Mhm.
or dual duty.
Mhm.
Okay, ambulance director's report. Okay, is there unanimous consent to place these reports on file?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Public Works, Road Stock and Harbor, we've got a purchase order for old mix asphalt to patch Hagan Road culverts before the summer traffic and DOT project begins. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase order for the cold mix asphalt.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is authorization to rent the winter transportation office for the Hagan Road construction. Do we have any specifics on that at this point?
Only the request from Northwoods Paving.
Okay,
My thought process is if they become the accepted bidder, then we don't have a rental policy for town property, but
Mhm.
probably use a similar price per square foot that the lease for the dockside gifts, for example, would be.
Okay. Do you want, you need a motion on this?
At least consensus that if they get it, we're able to just talk with them, and then obviously the lease or contract would come forward.
Who works in that office?
Nobody.
So nobody's gonna have to move.
Good.
It's really just, I mean,
Okay. I have no objection. Anybody else?
No.
Okay, so, okay. You have consensus on that? You want authorization to sell gravel for the Hagan Road construction? Is that also pending further
I mean,
discussion?
we can't do it until they would get it, but
Okay.
they want to know that we're willing to enter into those negotiations as part of.
Okay, sure.
Is that?
yes,
And you're okay with this? You don't need it for other
they will,
projects?
there'll be discussion a little further down. Whatever they use, they're willing to replace.
Oh, cool.
Consensus? Yes, Sue?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. All right, moving on to parks, the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan. Wonderful piece of work, Michael.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just wondered, did we get any response from this?
No, we haven't.
I think that's all.
Okay,
We mailed 2 addresses that we had for them to file.
Okay,
so we want a motion to approve this, adopt it. Okay. Is there a motion to adopt the updated and revised comprehensive outdoor recreation plan?
Make a motion, we approve the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan.
second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next is a purchase order for the Woodstock engine overhaul, which obviously has already taken place. It had failed. So needed to,
I called the truck shop today, they already had the engine poured down, it had to go sent to the machine shop. The number 6 piston was partially melted due to overfilling during the injection failure.
okay,
So this is something that definitely had to happen.
okay. Is there
where are we finding this money?
the extra money? The ice road?
Yeah, I mean, essentially. Ice road expenditures.
I'll make a motion that we approve a purchase order for the repair to cylinder number 6.
It's a complete engine overhaul.
Yeah, due to this failure.
Oh, I will make approve the purchase order for the Woodstock engine overhaul.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
And I will make a comment that, they estimate that they should have the head back in 2 weeks and they'll have it back up and running in about 2.5 weeks.
You see any operational challenges because of this?
Yes,
But
we're working through it.
Dealing with it, and making it work.
Okay. Thank you. Next item is the Island Closet lease. And this is for a 2-year lease. Is there a motion to approve the lease agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement with Island Closet.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to committees, I have a recommendation from the TPC on a certified survey map number 3409, parcel 0140011600700. It is to divide that 3.5 acre parcel into 3 acres of at least an acre apiece, and this has been recommended by the TPC. So is there a motion to
I'll make a
approve?
motion to approve the certified survey map for 0011600700.
Second.
It's been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. Moving on, rental ordinance language on delinquent payments. And this is an action item. I only have one. Does anyone have any comments or questions on this? I just have one suggestion, Michael, and that is in the last paragraph where it says permits will be issued on a conditional basis if the applicant presents a satisfactory payment plan to the town for delinquent taxes, et cetera. I would be more specific and say to the town treasurer, just so it's clear about who has the approval authority. If that makes sense.
No objection to that.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to adopt this amendment to the rental ordinance?
Sorry, I'll make a motion, that we adopt the rental ordinance language on delinquent payments.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is that we are being asked for the Harbor Commission to have authority to advance 300,000 additional working capital to Miffle LLC. This is really to take account of the fact that we're coming into the summer season and expenses are, obviously going up a lot, and so they need some additional working capital. We will try to, we have suggested that the LLC start sending us requests for reimbursement on payroll with each payroll, so that we aren't like 3 or maybe 4 payrolls behind by the time they send it to us, so that maybe that will help to reduce the amount of working capital. If they get us the payroll, we can get that paid, say, at the next regular board meetings. So I believe that's going to be the process going forward. I think that will enable us probably to trim that, not now, but eventually to trim that by about 100,000. So probably in the summers, we'll be looking at more, probably a $600,000 total advance to them, including the 400 that was initially done in January.
And
So-
we're needing a motion, you said?
I would need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion, we give authorization to advance the $300,000 in working capital to the Madeline Island Ferry Line LLC.
And this will be coming out of what is called the Miffle Utility Checking Account, which is from the revenues of the ferry operation and not from the town's general fund. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, appoint 2 members to the Harbor Commission. We had 4 applicants. I think everyone is qualified, at least in terms of their talents and skills. One of them, I'm not sure about the length of time they've lived here, but in any case, I would like to appoint Susan Widmar to fill a seat through October 6th of 2025. I believe it's the 6th. And Glenn Carlson to fill the other seat expiring October 6th, 2025. I'm basically taking Mike Anderson's seat on the Harbor Commission. Susan is essentially taking Carol Neubauer's seat on the Harbor Commission. So with those appointments, is there a motion to ratify?
I'll make a motion to ratify the Harbor Commission members to include Glenn Carlson and Susan Widmer.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, we have a lease with for the dockside building with Mike Rasmus and David Johnson and their LLC. Is there a motion to approve this lease?
I'll make a motion to approve the revised lease to David Johnson and Mike Rasmus.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, and this has gone through attorney review. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the lease of the Bayfield dock with Nelson Construction. And it is essentially at the same linear footage rent as what we are charging for the rental on the town dock. and will go up as that rental also goes up. Is there a motion to approve the dock lease in Bayfield?
Make a motion to approve the Bayfield dock lease with Nelson Construction.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, so the Harbor Commission borrowed $450,000 from the town just prior to the closing of the financing. And now we do have the financing in place. We do have a line of credit in place with Bremer Bank for $600,000. And it was our intent to draw on that to repay the $450,000 that the Harbor Commission borrowed from the town. The interest rate that the town has been charging the Harbor Commission is 5%, which is frankly more than the town earns on its surplus cash. And it's quite a bit lower than the interest rate the Harbor Commission would have to pay on the line of credit with Bremer. And so the Harbor Commission is interested in the town's renewal for a 90-day period of this arrangement. Within 90 days, the Harbor Commission will have sufficient cash from operations of the ferry line to repay that. And, you know, they could do it now. It's just at an additional cost. It's probably to both parties' benefit to continue it. And in fact, just as a point, and I raised this with the banker yesterday, it may be that the town and the Harbor Commission decide that this is actually not a bad thing to do every year. That the town, out of, you know, its tax collections in end of January, can cover the Harbor Commission's need for cash until
season, yeah.
yeah, until we hit the season, and then the Harbor Commission pays it back, and
Mhm.
you know, the Harbor Commission saves money, the town makes money, and everybody's happy. We still have the $600,000 in a credit in the event that we need it. So that's the current thinking. So we're looking for, I guess, just a motion to Michael to renew the resolution for another 90 days with a payment. I think we should get the Harbor Commission to cut us a check for the first 90 days of interest. If that seems
You
reasonable.
know, that would make me happy.
Yes. So if we could have a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion that we extend resolution 2024-0208B for another 90 days, asking that the Harbor Commission give us a payment of $5,625 for the interest we've already
Earned.
earned.
Okay, is there a second? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? They all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and I don't know if we have anything specific to sign on this.
No, I take care of it after
Okay.
you guys. But
Okay. Next is Public Arts Committee. They have a special event permit request.
So clarification, request for the closure during Make Music Day would be from Third Street and Bell Street up to Cadott.
Okay. Got it.
I need to be Mike Anderson here and say, well, I don't know if that we should be closing a street to through traffic for our emergency services vehicles, and will we have easy access? Can they move out of the way quickly if there's a problem?
We will have people, you know, on hand and available that can move, the barricades.
Mhm.
But we would have to put up, you know, that we know that is happening, you know, so there would have to be some kind of communication there.
But there won't be like a stage in the middle of the road that can't be moved.
No, we're not gonna put we talked about, can we put the stage mobile, in the road, but we're not going to do that. The stage mobile will be parked in Bell's, Bell Street
Parking lot.
somewhere, facing, but we just thought, because that's gonna be the center hub of the day's activities with musicians and people coming in and out, and we just thought it might be safer having that is blocked off for people to come and go between here and Russell Park.
Has anybody talked to Marty Curry?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Marty's on board with it. He's got that, at 6 to 8. So it'll be starting around 10 in the morning, and there will be some places around town that will have music too, but people will be using the stage in that area. And then at 6 to 8 that night, we have Rod, Marty is bringing Rod Sarar, is that his name, or Polka Dot? And LPC is co-sponsoring that with Marty for that evening. So the hope is to be able to be outside, in the parking lot area for that. Okay, so we can get by, without closing the street. It's just that we're hoping to end up kind of bit of traffic.
Okay, is there a motion to grant the special event permit?
I'll make a motion to approve the special event permit for the music day, Make Music Day.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Peggy. Next item is Town Hall Administration, proposals for the town board retreat. We did receive a couple of proposals. And would like your comments, thoughts on it? Don't speak up all at once. So we have a proposal that would be $1,200 from a private individual who's done strategic planning for some island organizations and the school board in the past. And that's for $1,200. And we have a proposal from a professor at UW Superior that would be, it looks like, a total of $1,300. Do people have any questions or thoughts on?
I have a question, and it might have been in the documents, but I don't have the printed copies.
Okay.
Does that dollar amount also include the cost of the facility?
No.
Okay.
Michael, do you have a recommendation?
I would recommend the UW Superior proposal. I think we all know we've already done some preliminary work. Yes, I think their proposal is much more detailed, much more targeted at based on what the survey results showed. Plus they have follow-up built into their proposal.
Is there a motion then to approve the proposal from Dr. Daniela Mansbach at the UW Superior?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal from Daniela Mansbach for the retreat.
Okay.
Board retreat.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? And we're still looking at sometime after Labor Day.
Yeah, I think what we will do now is coordinate dates between the three parties that would need to be involved.
Got it.
Assuming that you're comfortable going to the Great Lakes, Northern Great Lakes Visitor Center.
I think that sounds fine. It's off the island for a few minutes. Okay.
Did we take a vote on
Yes.
that? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next is the waiver for employee use of town Miffle garages. And I would like to suggest we do add that requirement of being added as a named insured on folks' insurance if they're gonna have their vehicles be worked on in the town garage. Same deal with the Miffle, I would say. I've actually had a car that was in a garage and the whole garage burned down.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, probably 40 years ago, but still, it does happen. Okay, do we want, can we vote on this at this point?
The amendment that's been
Yeah.
suggested. Sure,
Okay.
this has been kicking around for a while.
Yes.
Thinking for, especially
Some
on the
closure.
side, get some closure on.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt this waiver for employee use of garages with the addition of adding the town / Harbor Commission as an additional insured? The Harbor Commission in the case of Miffle, for the town.
I'll make a motion that we approve the release waiver with the addition of adding the town and or Harbor Commission as insured.
Okay. Second,
I'll second.
and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is the Island Collaborative, creating a task force, and as Michael and I have talked, I think the plan would be to have a small group of folks and probably a couple of town board representatives come up with a structure to recommend to the town board in terms of how this thing is going to work, how it's going to be staffed, how it's going to be populated, and that we should come up with our thoughts on it. How do people sign up to be on this, which is really kind of a formation committee. I would think that people who, and again, we can decide this. Do people who are on this committee, are they eligible to be on the Island Collaborative itself? Or are they, off the hook once they come up with a recommendation, and if they want to sign up, they can sign up. But it's something that we as the town board need to give direction as far as how we want to have this initial group that's going to set up the Island Collaborative, which is a key part, frankly, of the comprehensive plan. That is what will keep that plan alive and hopefully being used and studied and amended as needed. So we don't have to make any decision tonight. I'd like to, at the latest though, have us come up with something for the next meeting that we feel comfortable with. So be thinking about whether you think the town board should just appoint all 5 people, or should we have a sign-up list and appoint, maybe a couple of town board members and then have sign up for the other 3 members. If it's 3, maybe it should be more. But anyhow, if we can be thinking about this for the next town board meeting, that would be great. If you have thoughts now, feel free to share them.
So I have
Well, I
a
think
thought.
somebody from,
Oh, go ahead, Sue.
I like the idea that you're giving us some time to think about it, but like when we're talking about the people that are on that, what you're saying, I just want to make sure I'm hearing what you're saying. You're saying that they wouldn't necessarily automatically go on to the next thing, but we could talk if we wanted it to be an option that they could sign up for, right?
Yes, and again, this is going to be whatever this group of 5 people. Yeah, and I think it's up to them to make a recommendation on that. I don't see any reason why you would rule people out.
Yeah,
Also-
okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought I heard, but I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, Amy, you had a comment?
Well, when I thought about it, I thought there should be somebody from the steering committee, somebody from the chamber, and somebody from one of our nonprofits, as well as on board people. But
Okay, well, we'll talk about this put this on our agenda for our next meeting. Next is the use of the Ice Road parking lot for Dahl Construction on a project they're working on Sunny Slope, I guess.
Correct.
And Michael had mentioned potentially charging them based on the number of parking spaces that they would need. Obviously, this won't be continuing through if we have an ice road. They need to be gone by then, but I assume,
Yeah, they're talking 4 to 6 weeks max,
okay.
assuming everything goes well.
Is everyone comfortable with having staff negotiate with Dahl Construction to come up with a reasonable price for them to be able to use that parking lot? I assume.
Yes, yeah.
Okey doke. Next is pasture fee for 687 Middle Road. This is the property that the Harbor Commission acquired in the purchase of the ferry line. I don't have any issue with what you're proposing. I would like to, and I just thought of this like a half hour ago. I'd like to talk to the Harbor Commission's bond attorney. He gets real squeamish about any of the property that we acquired being used to generate any revenue. I'm gonna say, given the amount of revenue, shouldn't be an issue. But he may say, no, it's based on the appraised value of the property, you know, or whatever. So if we can defer that until our next meeting, I'd just like to run it past him so that he is okay with it. He's actually on vacation right now, so couldn't find out anyhow. So is there a motion to defer action in this till the next meeting?
I'll make a motion to defer discussion of the pasture fee until next meeting.
second,
Moved and seconded.
Can I ask a question from a staff perspective?
Sure.
Is this because it would be a new source of revenue as opposed to other properties that are already generating revenue?
Yeah, he was aware of all the ones that were already generating revenue, like Dockside. And had a good comfort level that we weren't, there's a threshold apparently for these things to be for the bonds that we issued, the notes to be tax exempt, in that they don't want you using essentially tax exempt financing to create businesses that compete with other businesses. And it, you know, the government doesn't want you.
No, I
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
but so their interpretation perhaps is that that property is being supported by financing, so therefore it's got encumbrance of the bond.
Yes.
So from a staff perspective, I would suggest that you're having this conversation. You might as well have the conversation of what happens if that house becomes a rental unit or if other development takes place on that property.
Yeah.
We realize it's probably not the number one site, but it's a potential site somewhere down the road, certainly somewhere within 20 to 40 years before all this financing is settled. So it'd be good to clear that up.
And in fact, what kind of got me to thinking about this was conversation that I had introducing Zach and Katie to the bankers yesterday. And we got one of the bankers asked about that property and what we were planning to do, because there had been some talk about potentially selling it. And I told him, no, we're not going to sell it. We may use it for affordable housing. And he said, oh, well, if you are gonna do that, you'll want to talk to Bob Tofty, the bond attorney, because we've got this issue with, these properties being used to generate revenue, da, 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 da. Obviously, the affordable housing thing, you can see where that would be a much bigger dollar amount
Mhm.
potentially than $25 or whatever an acre for pasture land. But he was never really explicit as to whether or not you use, and there's a ratio, it's like 10% of X. And is X the amount of revenue, or is X the value of the property that's being put to use in a commercial fashion? So I just want to clarify, if it's the amount of revenue, we have like no problem whatsoever. It's de minimis.
I mean, it would be a good thing to get that clarified,
Yeah.
because, for example, when the town applied for the raise grant before the ferry line was purchased, one of the things that knocked us down in scoring is we did not have enough economic development built into the proposal. So
Okay. Yeah.
there may be some conflict between our ability to actually access outside capital and somehow still stay in compliance with the bond terms.
To be honest, I don't think it will be a problem. Okay, but I think that it is worth checking with him
It's
on,
absolutely worth
and I'll raise,
the upfront.
Yeah.
Knowing what our uses.
right. Yeah, no, and I'll give the range of, it could be just pasture rental, or it could be affordable housing or something else. So, okay. Did we take a vote on that, Alex? But we took a vote on deferring,
For the,
the pasture fee.
yeah, I made a motion, we need to see.
Mhm.
She's.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Next is the rental of the woodshed at this town park. And I think that you're just looking for us to give a consensus on negotiating rates and having discussion with.
Right, as you'll see the trend, a lot of these, we're trying to tie up loose ends.
Right.
So that there's no chances of anyone saying the town is granting favors to one entity or another. So it's sort of setting the stage for this, and now we're just trying to cover all these circumstances so that
Yep.
it's clear that there's some schedule for payment, and it's likely to be minimum payment.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what we did with Grandpa Tony's last year.
And actually, this will probably be the same sort of fee schedule,
Okay,
based on a
square footage,
5% for square foot.
yeah, not a huge amount.
But it's a formal agreement.
Right.
Yes, it deals with the question that people might ask. Okay, let's see. So is there a consensus
Yes.
on that?
Yes.
Sue? Okay. Moving on, we have vouchers, and we don't have Mike Anderson. I don't know if we
Oh,
can
no.
do this.
Oh, my
Write down the
gosh.
number.
Hold on. She played Mike Anderson earlier in the meeting, so
Right?
she's
Yeah.
gonna get to do it again.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers on the amount of $43,312.83.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, and this is for the town,
Yep.
town funds. No other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. We then have vouchers for the Harbor Commission. We have two. One is the auto insurance, moving that from the old entity of Miffle to having it covered by the Harbor Commission. And the second is for the grant writer. We finally got a number from them. It's going to put the entire project at about 28,000 versus what we were thinking before, which was 20 to 25. It's a bit more, but it's due in 2 weeks. So people have to do a lot of work in a short period of time. So is there a motion to approve the vouchers for the Harbor Commission, subject to the Harbor Commission's approval? for $56,979.
I'll make a motion, we approve, I wrote it down. The Harbor Commission voucher for, $56,979.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, and this will go to the Harbor Commission on their meeting on Thursday. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now I think we have, any minutes to approve?
So catching up.
Okay.
What's next?
Sure, sure. Next is, Emergency Services Fire Department. They have a purchase order for, about $20,000 for, well, $18,722 for, SCBA equipment. Is there a motion to approve the purchase order?
Make a motion, we approve the purchase order, for an estimate of $20,000 for the SCBA, breathing apparatus.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment B. Anybody, Paul?
In that, this garbage truck is down there, it's 2.5 weeks, and it looks like it's public to do hauling in the meantime. Now's a good time to compare how much it's gonna cost for a public to haul it versus doing it in-house. How much the public will charge is easy, if you get a bill and went 10 times, you can do simple and see how much it costs per ton. With Woodstock, you're gonna have to not only figure out the man operates, the whole fuel costs and the insurance, but you're also gonna have to figure in the repairs. The breakdown of the tow that you had earlier this year, all the running around to pick up the driver, bring him back, go down in the truck and another truck, you have to bring the driver back. Hopefully you can all get compared, you can see how much it costs doing it yourself versus having it subbed out to a subcontract.
Thank you, Paul.
I would like to make a public comment on that.
Go ahead.
Republic is only willing to do this hauling for us, or any hauling, due to the fact that we are bringing the boxes to Bayfield for them. They don't have the time to come to the island and do box swaps. We're using the old hook lift truck and doing box swaps in Bayfield, and that is saving them boat time.
Okay.
So, so the quote that or the bill that we will get from Republic does not reflect the amount of time that they are spending on the boat and waiting for the boat.
Got it. Thank you.
Public side of the question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. Any other public comment?
I just have a question.
Go ahead, Peggy.
So for Make Music Day, one of the things that we're, working on is with Fairy Line having music, just kind of kick off and start the day. And so it's going to be hopefully a band of some kind that will start from Fairy Line and come over to, it could be just a kazoo band or it could be a tribal band. Do we need to do any type of request or permit for that group of people to walk from the ferry over to the L Street?
I know that discussion has already started in the Harbor Commission, and I believe, now that you can back me up if my memory is wrong, but they have approved the concept of it. It's really a matter of working out the logistics so that it's not interfering with harbor operations.
We kicked it over to the management company to figure out the logistics of it, make sure that it does not affect service in any way. So I believe it's in their hands to make sure it works. The Harbor Commission is willing to do, make it. We agreed that this is something we'd like to do, but we want the management company to be comfortable with it, and we will go off of their recommendation.
Okay, so should we work through you the Harbor Commission or the?
Probably Robin and,
Okay,
I believe we directed Peg Bertle to talk to Robin,
Okay.
about this.
all right. She just asked that I bring it up to find out. And then, the other question that I got is there's going to be a group of people that will be walking from the church down to here at a time during the day, playing music, as long as they're on the sidewalk, that's okay,
I think so.
I think that's fine,
okay.
unless someone tells you it's not. I don't know of anything that would stop that.
In the Arts Committee minutes, there is a line that says Peg already asked Robin if Bayfield Band can perform on the ferry ride over and back. Robin thought that would be fine, but no free ferry rides will be given. So you might need to find money for the band to come over.
Yep, we are.
Oh, yeah, that was the answer in our minute.
I'm walking, you know, here, there to really close.
I think they'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, any liquor licenses?
We just have all the businesses and get them back by the.
Okay, thank you. Lawsuits and legal, Michael?
Report.
New agenda items for future meetings.
The Island Fire Task Force, minutes, treasurer's reports. That's a part.
When we're doing the fees, can we add the fire?
Okay.
Can't think of anything else.
I can't remember.
We have a way of getting these things on the agenda. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I think we have a motion and a second.
Yeah. Okay.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
Have a good night.
You all-
Bye-bye.
You all too.